Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. The Curse of Oak Island. The results are revealed for scientific analysis of gold found at Money Pit. On this week's The Curse of Oak Island, the team had a piece of gold found at the Money Pit analyzed by chemists at a laboratory, and the results were very promising. Last night's episode was difficult to watch in some places as, much to the team's frustration, Nova Scotia's Department of Communities, Culture and Heritage ordered them to shut down operations in the swamp area. Follow the link to read about that situation. However, there were also many positives to last night's show, and one of those centered around a small piece of metal. The metal piece in question was found a week ago at a depth of approximately 90 feet in the D2 borehole in the Money Pit area. The guys put it into their new XRF machine, which suggested it contained some gold. This obviously caused great excitement and led to the team wanting to find out more. With that in mind, Marty Lagina, crate tester and treasure hunting veteran, Dan Henske took the mysterious piece of metal to expert chemist Dr. Krista Brousseau at her laboratory in Nova Scotia Street, Mary's University. Metal composition determined Oak Island team's focus for the year. Marty left Brousseau and us viewers in doubt as to how important these results would be. He said, "What happens here today influences what we do for the rest of the year." Brousseau's colleague, Dr. Chiang Yang, fed the piece into a scanning electron microscope, which uses a beam of electrons to magnify the metal's features to get a clearer picture of its chemical composition. The first bit of news revealed an absence of manganese in the iron, which dated the piece to before the 1840s. Yang then upped the tension by identifying some pyrite, aka fool's gold. But as a few more tense moments passed by, he eventually came up with the goods and found some actual proper gold. Within that piece, they found gold at about 65%, copper at approximately 26%, and a small amount of silver. Brousseau explained that it was likely what's known as rose gold, which was often used to create rose-colored jewelry, particularly in 19th century Russia. However, the practice dates back to the Middle Ages. Is the Oak Island metal Tumbaga gold or rose gold? Later in the episode, an excited Marty reported these findings to his brother Rick and the rest of the team, and he had another theory about the gold. He had been examining the chemical composition of Tumbaga gold and found that it was also similar to their piece. Tumbaga gold might be even more exciting than rose gold, because this was the name given by Spanish conquistadors to the gold made by the Aztecs and Incas in Central and South America. One Oak Island theory has long speculated that the conquistadors may have buried treasure plundered from the indigenous peoples and buried it on the island. The prospect of ancient Spanish or Aztec gold obviously caused the guys maximum excitement, and they agreed that they need to place a 10-foot steel caisson shaft over the D2 borehole and try to dig up any more treasure. The sun rose over the misty shores of Oak Island, casting long shadows across the ancient, gnarled trees that stood sentinel around the Money Pit. The air was thick with anticipation and a palpable sense of history, as if the island itself held its breath. For centuries, tales of hidden treasure had lured adventurers and fortune seekers to this remote corner of Nova Scotia. They came with dreams of unearthing riches beyond imagination, but most left with empty hands and stories of eerie phenomena. Yet today felt different. Today, the answer seemed tantalizingly close. Rick and Marty Lagina, the modern-day treasure hunters who had dedicated years of their lives to unraveling Oak Island's mysteries, stood at the heart of the activity. Beside them, the rest of their dedicated team milled about, preparing for what could be the most significant revelation in the island's storied history. In their hands, they held the results of a scientific analysis that might finally validate the legends, the analysis of gold found within the depths of the Money Pit. The Money Pit itself was an enigma, a labyrinthine network of tunnels and booby traps designed to protect whatever lay at its heart. Over the centuries, countless expeditions had tried and failed to conquer its depths, but the Lagina brothers were undeterred. Their quest was not just for treasure, but for truth, for the unraveling of a puzzle that had stumped minds far sharper than theirs. As they gathered around the weathered wooden table, a hush fell over the group. Dr. Lacey Thornton, a renowned geologist, held the precious report in her hands. Her eyes sparkled with the excitement of discovery as she began to speak. "The samples we recovered from the Money Pit have undergone rigorous analysis," she began, her voice steady despite the gravity of her words. "And the results are astounding." A murmur rippled through the team, a mixture of disbelief and hope. Dr. Thornton continued, "The gold traces we found are unlike anything we've encountered before. The isotopic composition suggests that the gold has a historical provenance dating back several centuries." Rick's eyes widened. "Are you saying this gold could be part of the legendary treasure?" Dr. Thornton nodded. "It's highly possible. The analysis indicates that this gold is not of local origin. Its unique isotopic signature points to a source from somewhere in Europe, likely Spain or Portugal. This aligns perfectly with the theories suggesting that the treasure might be linked to the Spanish Armada or even the Knights Templar." The air buzzed with excitement. For years, the team had pored over historical records, piecing together clues that hinted at a treasure of monumental significance hidden on the island. The gold they had found was the first tangible proof that they were on the right track. Marty, ever the pragmatist, raised an eyebrow. "But how do we know this isn't just a fluke? Could there be some other explanation for the gold being there?" Dr. Thornton smiled. "We've considered that possibility. However, the depth at which the gold was found, coupled with the sophisticated construction of the Money Pit, suggests intentional placement. This isn't just random. Someone went to great lengths to bury this gold deep underground, protecting it with layers of traps and flood tunnels." The team exchanged glances, their faces a blend of awe and determination. For years, Oak Island had guarded its secrets jealously, but now it seemed they were finally breaking through its defenses. The gold was more than just a valuable metal. It was a key, a fragment of a larger narrative that spanned continents and centuries. Jack Begley, one of the team's youngest and most passionate members, leaned forward. "What does this mean for our search? How does this change our approach?" Rick clasped his brother's shoulder, a rare smile breaking across his face. "It means we're not chasing shadows. This is real. The treasure is real, and we're getting closer." The excitement was infectious. The team knew they were on the brink of something monumental, something that could rewrite history. The legends of Oak Island spoke of fabulous wealth, but also of curses of men who had lost their lives in the pursuit of fortune. As they stood there, united by a common goal, they felt the weight of those who had come before them, the dreamers and the daring, the hopeful and the haunted. As the sun climbed higher, the team got back to work with renewed vigor. The gold analysis was a beacon, a guiding star that would lead them deeper into the island's mysteries. They pored over maps and charts, plotted new excavation sites, and double-checked their equipment. Every detail mattered. Every decision could bring them one step closer to their goal. But amid the hustle and bustle, a quiet sense of reverence persisted. The island was more than just a treasure trove. It was a living, breathing entity.